ability so that so we can ultimately support you. We've got our one call number down there, so giving them a call so that they can coordinate and make sure that we get you guys back up in the air as quickly as possible.
Okay. Add to the global service network, I would add we have the 11 domestic service centers, 6 in Europe and 4 in APAC, Singapore, and then 3 in Australia, really kind of ramping up Australia recently. So if you find your way over there, we have global support. We're very proud of our OEM global support with our MSUs and Go teams and brick and mortar. Some highlights from 2024. The service network, the domestic network, has the capability to eat 2.1 million hours worth of maintenance, mods, interior. This covers Go teams and our MSU fleet. So a significant amount of volume can come into our network. I would say Wichita's in the 45 to 50% of that number. I'm sure all of you have been to Wichita, and that's our largest facility. Currently, manpower to work about 17,000 hours a week in the Wichita facility. 2024 was a unique year for the industry. I've seen a lot of attrition with technicians, and even over in production. More of the tenured technicians are starting to retire out. So that's a topic that's top of mind continually with us. We're looking for ways. We were talking earlier at breakfast about AI, potential ways to use AI to take some of the experience out of our 35-year seasoned technicians and bring it downward to the 0 to 5 year technicians. Fortunately, this year, attrition has seemed to level out. So we're in a really good spot with technicians and seasoned technicians. I will mention on the AI front, we are building a platform to where we can use AI and troubleshooting. It's an internal AI that we use, and it's added a lot of benefit and time-saving techniques in troubleshooting events. Last year we serviced over 5,000 unique aircraft serial numbers in our network. Supported 6,500 offsite events, and then the call volume, our product support team, customer service, our team 525, team legacy, and one call, close to 300,000 support calls last year. So a lot of volume last year in customer service, with Jeff Umscheid recently taken over as the vice president of customer service. Just looking for ways to improve, and to Sherman's point, that's why we appreciate these kind of smaller venues. Gives us the opportunity to spend more time with the customers and hear what's working and what's not working, and suggestions for going forward as partners. So our 11 domestic sites, we've had some recent changes in the operations leadership. I wanted to point out the general managers. Chad White, who was the San Antonio manager, had retired. He retired for a year and decided he wanted to come back. So he took over our Houston facility, moved from San Antonio to Houston. And then Jesus Velasquez took over the San Antonio. He's the new general manager at the San Antonio Service Center. And then our right, Stephanie Golden moved down from Wichita to Orlando about a year ago. She's running the Orlando facility. And as of next week, Rick Zimmerman, the general manager in Tampa, been in the industry for close to 50 years, is retiring. And the ink on this picture is not dry, but Greg Payne will be taking over the Tampa facility starting next week. Our MSU teams, a good topic of conversation I wouldn't mind having with all of you through the course of the rest of this day. Jeff Umscheid, like I said, leads our customer support team, kind of doing a bottom-up strategy review of locations where we're need to move to. I think we're looking at adding some trucks in different regions where we need to have a better support. Mr. Mike Murley, who leads the Mesa and Sacramento service centers. I talked to Steve Spurley yesterday. We're looking in that Oregon, Seattle. We did have a truck there Yeah, unfortunately, keeping technicians there was difficult, so we made the decision, but it's top of mind right now. That the Pacific Northwest is under supported, so we're looking at that, and then we continually discuss the mix of AOG support and small maintenance events off of the MSU platforms. It's kind of a delicate balance, region by region. Some support more AOGs, and then or some are doing smaller maintenance and hangars. So just taking a step back and reviewing MSU strategy, and would appreciate any and all feedback on that.
All right, talking about our programs, we'd be remiss not to highlight those. Again, it's a way to level load some of the maintenance events, knowing that the cost of operations can come sort of lumpy. So making sure that we're able to help go through that. So Pro Parts, Pro Tech, Power Advantage, and Power Advantage Plus, and then Ox Advantage. So a lot of aircraft are on program. So if you have that opportunity or you're interested in that, we can definitely have a conversation about that and really talk about the value of the programs for you.
It's an ongoing, continual conversation. Andrew Castle is my counterpart. He leads the programs team. Preston Brunwick on the TAPD side are working continually on reduced hours, minimums, looking at the overall fleet usage of your model and pricing, trying to adjust as possible. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely.
Yeah, noted. Yes, always.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question so those of us on Zoom can hear them, please?
Yeah, so the question was around pricing for programs. Looking at how do is there an opportunity for us to reprice or something like that? And as Dave said, we're constantly reviewing that.
Mm.
Yeah. One of the other things the team's also looking at is enhanced coverage. So other products, other parts, stuff that we're seeing across the fleet. Is that something to roll in? There's multiple different factors that go into that equation, but it is something that's being reviewed. I know at a very high level. I can't speak about everything that's being reviewed right now, but yeah, well. Yeah, we will absolutely take that back to the team. Yep,
For sure.
Yes, sir. Recently set up say yeah. Maybe. Yeah. You only have to. You go. Okay. It should have. Okay.
Noted.
Yeah, no, that's fair feedback. So the question was, or the comment was around pro ownership and it going away and the pricing around that and doing more of a phase down approach and being transparent about sort of the reason of why versus pricing it to a point where yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it. Brandy Harding, she leads the pro ownership team. So we'll take that information back.
So
Absolutely.
I'd like to comment on that as well. Pro ownership was the reason that when I bought the M2, I signed up for ProTech. I had been on it with my Mustang for years. I thought it was an incredibly valuable program to navigate the morass of different entities and groups at Textron. Thought it was beneficial to both me and Textron. I've been an advocate of it for years. And then when I got the a month after I signed up for 3 years of ProTech, I get that it's $1,000 a month. And it's really disappointing because I think it was a great program for people like us, owner operators, and built relationships, and it drove business to Textron. I mean, I solely used all of my Textron for everything. And if I wasn't on pro ownership, I wouldn't do that because it cost me more money to fly the airplane to Wichita or San Antonio or Houston, or to have the MSU team come out. So I would really re-urge Textron to look at that program, and in the big picture of if it's driving business to ProTech and to programs and business to Textron, it probably does make sense to keep it like it was.
Okay. Yeah, no, we'll definitely take that back.
Appreciate the feedback. And
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% agree.
Yeah, so my default is things like that. So
just some of the recent, I feel exciting opportunities. You make a plan and sometimes things change. Last year, we were really ramped up for some interior refurbs, and in 2024 seemed kind of soft for that. 2025 has been 2x on interior refurbs and paint. I would say if you're looking at a refurb or paint slots across the entire business are a cherished commodity. So I would look to plan 9 to 12 months out if you're looking to get your aircraft repainted. There's just very limited slots available for paint. I think our Indy paint facility sold out until 2026. Talk to a few of you. Some of the recent custom interiors, I think we've opened up a little bit more with some custom seat tailoring, stitching. All these can be done at all of our domestic sites. There'll be, if you choose to outside of Wichita, can be complete the same product as in Wichita, just maybe add about 4 days before we do bring the seats back to Wichita to reset those seats. So there will be a little bit of lag time on some transportation back and forth to some of the sites in Wichita to do the rework. So I just wanted to show, let's see, recent CJ4. Here was before, yeah. Somebody calls them the marshmallow seats. I can't remember what country. And then here's the CJ4 after the refurb. So brought it forward quite a bit. We're doing some really fancy custom carpets, and like I said, slimming down the seats, doing some custom seat tailoring. So just a really great look. And then real quick, go into Wi-Fi GoGo. Obviously has the L3, L5, and the LX5. Over the last, I would say, several years, this has been a good seller across the industry. Obviously, well, I was going to say this year has slowed a little bit, and we can go. Yeah, we can jump to the next slide and talk about. So Galileo, we did just recently finish our first STC cert CJ4 in Orlando with the Galileo install. We'll be looking for more 525 series STCs for Galileo. I'm sure everybody knows about Starlink. We're currently installing Starlink on 560XLs, 750s, King Airs, Caravans, Sovereign and Latitude are to follow. This is another one. There's about 4 to 6 month lead time on those antennas. There's just been a large take rate on this product with more of the Part 25 aircraft, but an exciting opportunity with the Starlink. Our business development team, I know some have put carrying the mini, but our business development team is working. I think Starlink was in a few weeks ago for a meeting and having conversations on what that could potentially look like going forward. I was not in either one of the meetings, so I would be hopeful they will. I would think, but I can't tell you I know that for a fact. It is. It's an ongoing conversation. Yeah. And it's a huge opportunity. I also have a team in Latin America, and then the European team. It's just going to, they've really been underserved or non-served. So it's just going to be a great product, I think, internationally. We're looking for play. Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll jump into sort of customer support and parts. So again, we'd be remiss not to talk about the one call and also the service app. So again, if you have an event or you need help, support, in any way, making sure you're reaching out through those channels. The next piece of this is looking at, when we look at parts distribution, some of the highlights. So in 2024, over 1 million emails and calls were touched by our team or supported. So it was a huge volume when you think of that. We've seen significant increases in that activity. Over 11,000 customer accounts have been opened. We'll talk about the grow and the improve here shortly, but over 6,000 part numbers are in our system that we sell. We're continuing to grow and enhance that. Some of that is offering different products that maybe historically we haven't offered, and looking at what are the needs of the market, what are the needs of our customers, and making sure that we're able to support that with multiple different products. And then most of our transactions, 90% go through e-commerce. That should be no surprise to anybody. People like to shop online. Having worked with other OEMs, our e-commerce site I feel like is top of class. It is a really good e-commerce site, very intuitive and user friendly. And the team continues to enhance that. And that's one of the slides we'll talk about here shortly. So the first piece is our journey on bringing inventory closer to our customers. A lot of this has to do with international, but it is also helping some of our domestic facilities as well. So growing our European inventory, making sure that we have parts in region. So when you think of being able to support an AOG event or scheduled maintenance, having parts close to where that's going to happen shortens that downtime significantly. And we've seen where our European distribution center has increased the number of parts supported in Europe from the low 30s in the 2018 timeframe, close to 70% now are supported out of our European distribution facility. So it's really been a benefit to us, and also increasing the square footage of that facility so that we can have more parts there. We've also seen that with Australia as well. Australia is a tough place to get parts into just because of how far away it is and the timing to get there. So making sure that we're building out that capability. The other thing that we've done is increased our sales and support teams in Europe. So now we have local people able to know the customer base a little bit better and have those conversations locally Same time zone. Again, when you start dealing with international customers, it becomes very difficult because you're already that far behind from the time perspective. So we're really trying to become 24/7 for our customers so that they're able to, wherever they are in the world, have an event we're able to help with. The expanded warehouse in Wichita. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of press around that. It has been a huge benefit when you think of operation. So eliminating multiple facilities, putting it into a single. It's helped the base of employees there as well. So when culture, visibility to training, so that we have a standard product that comes out versus multiple facilities having different processes, different leadership. It really has consolidated that into that single location so that we can control it better. But also when we think of shipping parts, so if you bought a part from us, sometimes it would come out of these facilities, so you pay separate shipping versus being able to consolidate that into a single shipment and ship it out. So that's been another benefit of that. The next focus has been our APAC region. So getting parts into Asia Pacific. Again, how do we continue to support the totality of our customer base? That's really been that grow aspect. And you'll continue to hear more when we talk about some of the products that we're coming to offer, whether that's SDC, PMAs, or something we call used serviceable materials. Looking at the total gamut of parts that we can support our customer base with is something we're evaluating, knowing that the fleet, it's a large fleet and a large population of aircraft, trying to support that holistically. So the next piece of this is our enhancements to our e-commerce site. Okay. So we've been on a really long journey with this. It started out with the order tracker, so you can see where your part is in the process, and making sure that it's getting picked, packed, and shipped that same day, and being able to see that shot by model. So you can look at the different parts on your aircraft. If you're buying this part, is it applicable? And that connects with our IPC as well. So you still have that connective tissue to the engineering piece. Product pictures. We've heard a lot of customers praise that we've got pictures out there. Sometimes it's difficult in the IPC to see a part. Is it really this? Is it not this? So having a picture to make sure it's like for like can make that ordering process a little bit more seamless. On the product pages, putting the applicable aircraft. So making sure it's applicable to your model. We've started putting that onto our e-commerce site on those part product pages. The next feature I thought was pretty ingenious, but and I can just hold it here. The wish list. So you're able to put parts that you typically order. So if you had hey, I typically do this inspection, or I do this, you're able to then put those into and it's not a cart, but it's a list of those parts, and you can reorder that regularly. So if you are doing these ordering so often, having the ability to create your own sort of kit per se, but it's not necessarily a kit that you're able to then order frequently is another benefit. Some of the features that we're working through, we know the improved search capability. So being able to type in part of a name or part of a part number, and it would pull up, here's what you're probably looking for. That adaptive search is something. Increased site speed. We hear this quite a bit, that our site is pretty slow. If you've ever bought parts from us, and again, we're in 2025, so speeds of websites should be fast enough. So we are really working hard to get that up to industry leading. Shot by dock is something else. So if you have a dock inspection that's coming due, putting those parts into that, so you could say, hey, it's a dock 10, and the parts are listed there. So you're able to then just order that dock inspection. And then some of the personalized recommendations. Hey, we've seen people who have bought this part, they typically buy this as well. Sometimes when you're buying a part, you don't think of, hey, I need the packing that goes with this part, or I need this sealant. So having that recommendation engine, so that it would tell you, hey, you might want to look at this, and it might trigger something that, hey, I didn't think about this, but I need to add this as well. The other thing that we're working on is some of the claim filing, making that a little bit of an easier process. We know that it's a little tedious today, so the team is actively working to enhance that. So it'll be a better experience for our customers on our e-commerce site. And I don't know how many of you guys buy parts from us versus the maintenance if you're doing it at the service center or other locations as well. So it maybe not necessarily applicable, but we are continuing to enhance that to make that process better. One of the things that I didn't get the slide put in here, but I wanted to make sure was our warranty change. This happened in May of last year. We went from 6 months from date of install to 12 months from date of purchase. So again, we've increased that warranty timeframe to be more in line with where the industry expects us to be. But I just wanted to make sure we highlighted that so you were aware of that as well. One of the things that I would say Textron's been doing is how do we invest in making our products better? How do we train people, create a better process around that? And one of the things that the leadership decided was coming up with this career and training center. So when we consolidated the warehouses for parts, we took one of those and they created a training center for new employees. And what this is it is truly a hands-on process. So when we're building our aircraft, they're able to physically touch the different parts, learn how to manufacture. So when they hit the shop floor, they've already had experience with those parts. They already understand the machining, the processes. And what we're seeing is the time to get up to speed with those employees as they come on board, that learning curve has steepened significantly. They're able to get that stuff very quick because they have a very robust training process. Previous to this, it was on the floor. So you would take your best manufacturing employee and you would have somebody come and watch them. So what it did was it decreased their efficiency because they're having to train somebody constantly. So now we're able to speed that up. Some of our employees have never seen blueprints before. So how do you show them that blueprint before they get to that shop floor? So it's a very immersive process for our new employees to really gain some experience prior to hitting the floor. The other thing it gave us was some more space to do other training. So development training across the entire enterprise. So that's been an added benefit as well. You have anything to add on that, Dave?
It's kind of a one-stop shop, which I find great for new employees. They can you can go in person, put in an application, potentially be interviewed at the same time. So it's just been a smoother transition. And to Sherman's point, they get hands-on. One of the photos there, you see they're actually working on a fuselage. Prior to this, they might have a 6x6 sheet of aluminum and be learning how to put rivets in there. So it's just a more real world experience. So then when they go out to our factory, I don't know how many of you taken a factory tour, but the noises, smells, etc. Can be overwhelming to some. So I think earlier when I was talking about attrition, I think this has really helped, and it's helping to increase production rates by sending the new employees to the floor better skilled to be a productive employee right away.
Okay, and that is all we had. Any questions, comments?
All right.
Thanks. All right, we'll just here, Eric, we'll get your stuff up.